Welcome to the College Football Bros. I'm Ryan Newman. Well, there's a new update on the Pac-12 and how their media rights negotiations are going, and let's just say they're not going well. It's just not looking good for the Pac-12. Dennis Dodd, he came out with an article on CBS, and he actually talked with a consultant, a former producer, and the consultant was saying how it doesn't seem likely that the Pac-12 is going to reach a deal that's going to come to an agreement where at least half of their games will be on like TV. So meaning like traditional cable or broadcast TV. So I mean that's some pretty horrible news if you're a Pac-12 fan, and there's just serious doubts if they're going to have any of their games on any of those major networks. So big concern, big news here. Um, this consultant kind of went on to say that he was monitoring the situation and he was thinking the CW um, actually has a lot of potential here to maybe be the winner of the winning bid for the Pac-12 media rights. And it actually, it kind of sounds like there's other reports out there claiming the same thing, that CW is in serious talks with the Pac-12. So, I mean, I know the CW is in a lot of homes around the country, and I've heard of it, but I couldn't tell you what CW stands for. I couldn't tell you what channel it's on. Uh, so if you're a sports fan, you're not giddy about that. Like, you're gonna have to go out of your way to find it. So that's not good news for Pac-12, but I mean, at least it's on TV, I guess, right? But not good. So CW, whatever. But at this point, even if with the CW, it seems like streaming is going to be a major piece for the Pac-12, regardless of what happens. So, it could be Apple gets some games, maybe Amazon, ESPN Plus actually is considering. I don't know if they have. It kind of sounds like ESPN just totally out, but you never know. Um, but with all this kind of out there, I don't see how this conference is able to get anywhere close to the amount of money, that like even the Big 12 teams are going to get, which is around 32 million. Especially considering, I mean, when you look at the Big 12, they're going to have at least 70% of their games, on those linear platforms, so on the big networks. So that's a way more, publicity and attention that those schools will get on broadcast television. So major concern there for Pac-12. But what does this all mean now? Well, for the future of the Pac-12, to me, I mean, unless the Pac-12 can pull a rabbit out of their hat here at the kind of at the end, it almost guarantees to me that some other schools from the conference are going to leave the Pac-12. At least the first decent opportunity that they get. You talk about the Arizona schools, Colorado and Utah. Those four have been kind of rumored to the Big 12. Makes sense geographically, and there's been some kind of buzz about that. And I'm sure, Oregon and Washington, the two biggest remaining, most attractive brands still in the Pac-12. I'm sure they're, if not the Big 10, I'm sure they might even consider leaving the Big 12 because I think their deal is going to just end up being better. So, I think all those schools that have, attractiveness to other conferences, they'll probably bounce. My kind of guessing game here, but I think that's what ultimately will happen. So you talk about the remaining Pac-12 schools, Washington State, Oregon State, Cal, Stanford, kind of those. I think it's going to kind of turn into a glorified Mountain West. I think the Pac-12 conference will still be a conference, but it'll be like those four-ish teams plus, the San Diego State, San Jose, Hawaii, Fresno. It's essentially going to be the Mountain West, but just with a few of the leftover Pac-12. So, I mean, not ideal for any of those schools. But if you're sitting there, like if you're Colorado's and the Utah and Arizona's, you're looking to get out if you're kind of monitoring this situation and how the media rights deal is going. It's not going well. So I'm sure you're going to want to get out there and make sure you take care of yourself first. So it not a good sign here, but as we all know, news can change in the college football world on a dime, right? So we'll keep kind of monitoring this situation and we'll see. It's not expected to happen imminently as far as this TV rights deal. So probably push into maybe even the summertime here. So we'll see what happens then. But just an interesting piece of news that I thought I'd kind of share with you guys. But that's going to do it for this episode of the College Football Bros. We're trying to grow our channel. So if you could please consider subscribing and giving this video a like, we'd appreciate it. Also leave comments on your thoughts about this news and kind of what you see coming down the pipe for the Pac-12, what you think is going to happen. That'll do it. Thank you.